So while I was working on the TF2 Scout loadout video, something quickly became evident to me. The Henry 410 sucks. It belongs on a long list of many conversions which draw people in with an interesting concept, only for the user to realize just how terrible it is. Generally, you can't say that a weapon is a direct upgrade to another weapon. There's a bit more nuance to it than that. But I don't think anyone who's used this weapon would argue with me here when I say that this is an objectively worse jury. And I'll explain why. This conversion, like many others, has a gimmick to it. This gimmick is the fact that it does 50 damage times 4, and one pellet will always hit dead center. Crazy, right? Not really. On the other hand, the jury with flechette does 36 damage times 6. Unlike the Henry, you don't get one guaranteed accurate pellet, but you do get 6 pellets overall and a lot tighter spread due to the lesser aim choke and substantially higher velocity. On top of that, your max reload speed is under half that of the Henry's and your fire rate is triple. I think the intention of the Henry 410 was to make it a longer range version of the jury that sacrifices RPM and reload speeds for damage and range, but it can't since the spread and velocity are substantially worse. It doesn't work as a close range alternative either since the 2 at kill range drops off incredibly fast, and it's unlikely that you'll hit 3 pellets at 50 studs in my experience. This means that unless the enemy is in your face, you will have to shoot a second time. Let me remind you that without the shotgun conversion, the Henry is guaranteed to kill with the torso hit up to 81 studs. You're making your weapon worse by adding an attachment to it, which costs more than the default weapon. Instead of just telling you about it, I'm going to show you. I did some tests and I put together this visual representation, so this should show you just how bad it is. Although I didn't get the exact ranges for these tests, I did make sure to shoot each weapon at the same position before taking the screenshot. Quadrant 1 was shot at around 20 studs. At this range, both weapons exceed 100 damage, granting the user a kill. The same can be said for Quadrant 2, however you can begin to see the Henry's performance falter. By the time you reach around 80 to 100 studs, the distance of Quadrant 3, neither weapon will one-shot, and the Henry really begins to struggle. I estimated the range at 90 studs and calculated the damage accordingly based on where the pellets hit on this outline. 95 damage for the jury and 80 for the Henry. The Henry user would also take considerably longer to follow this up with another shot due to its RPM, but both guns would have killed in 1 to 2 hits. Quadrant 4 is another story. At this distance, 180 studs, both weapons are doing the same damage per pellet. Even with its unique ability to always land one pellet with perfect accuracy, it still fails to score more than one hit due to its awful spread. As stated before, the jury user can easily pop off another shot and finish the enemy way faster than the Henry can. In this situation, the Henry user might not even be able to get a kill after expending its entire 5-round magazine. So here's what I propose for a buff. Match the velocity to the jury, 2000 studs per second, and set the choke to 1.5. Lower the wall penetration to 0.5, set the min damage to 24, and remove its unique ability to always land one pellet accurately at any distance. This will make the Henry 410 into a jury with less RPM and slower reloads, but superior range performance, giving it a purpose in the game. For comparison, here are the current stats. That's about all that needs to be said in this video. I put a community post up yesterday that details future uploads, so check that out if you're curious. Yeah, that's it.